Hey guys, how you doing? Welcome back. Tuesday night. It's another episode of KJ's What Happened, where we look back at a lot of the news that doesn't really make the news. It doesn't get out there. Some of it does, but a lot of it doesn't. The fringe stuff. To me, it's the fun stuff. It's the interesting stuff. So thanks again for being back. I did kind of a poll on my channel about a week ago asking you guys if you wanted me to soften things up around here a little bit. Every now and then, it's usually most shows, but there'll just be a handful of people who complain that it's bad language in the clips sometimes. Sometimes there's partial nudity in some of the imagery here and there. It's kind of adult at times. So I figured I would throw it to the people, and I asked you guys, what do you want? And as I kind of suspected, the majority of you are like myself. You want all this unfiltered. I'm just being myself over here. I don't have a script. You can see how horribly produced my shows are. They've been that way for years. I never know what's going to happen half the time, but I'm just being myself. I'm just sitting here chatting and talking with you, and I'm showing you the things I find. And when we're looking at the beast system as it is, when we're trying to pick these kind of things apart, I mean, your shoes are going to get a little dirty, This is grown-up stuff. It's not child's play. Some people think that it's all fear and doom and stuff, but to me, this is the good news. Because, see, people like me, you might not be like me, but people like me, I don't like this system. I'm doing the best I can here. I make light of it. I have fun here with family, friends, loved ones, etc. I keep peace in my life. But there's been a yearning, at least with me, even ever since I was a little kid, to not be here. I never felt like I fit in, ever. Though I have a good mask. I can get along with anybody. I'm a chameleon like that. I can fit into kind of any situation, but I need a lot of time alone to recharge if I have to get out a lot or if I'm around a lot of people. Some of you may be like that as well. I think that a lot of us are getting even more kind of spiritually sensitive, particularly now, like in these days, or even the last decade or so. I would say I've noticed changes, and again, some of you probably have as well. But yeah, so that's what we do here. We're looking at unfiltered news through a lens of us as a community, people that are more or less awake, more awake than what they call woke. It's funny how this system mimics and mocks everything and tries to steal it and copies it. They run around saying woke, get woke, but their woke is more like kind of that social justice warrior type woke, still a part of the psyop, still a part of the beast system, still something against humanity. But they say that's being woke. I think we're the ones that are truly awake when you can see this beast system for what it truly is. And we may not have all the answers, but we're searching, right? Sometimes it's going to get a little grimy in there. It's going to get a little spooky. I'm not going to kid you. Sometimes something might jump out at you. Be ready, okay? You never know. This is scary stuff. My channel's name is the scariest movie ever. I'm not sure what people expected. As I wrote to one person, they wrote under one of my new videos, can you please start making happy videos or uplifting type videos? I said no. And I didn't finish my thought, but what I wanted to say is no, because unfortunately, happy-go-lucky chill videos don't save souls. Not now. Not in the days we're in. And I don't have that big of an ego, like, oh, I'm the soul saver, or whatever. But I mean, if I can use the kind of gifts I have to try to help in that respect, I am a follower of Christ. I'm not a religious person, but I'm a follower of Christ. If I can use my gifts to help that and to help bring more people on board, then that's all that matters. I'm rambling, and we're just getting started. So speaking of getting started, let's just go ahead and really get started. How's that, huh? Thanks again for being here, man, for real. Lady Gaga teases a new alter ego called Enigma ahead of her Las Vegas residency. This is a really fascinating character. I've done a lot of videos on her myself. Deeply entrenched in Hollywood occult, Hollywood Illuminati. You know, anybody that tells you that this Hollywood Illuminati thing is just a joke, you know, it's a Illuminati, you know, and all that stuff. Just have them do some looking into this one right here, Lady Gaga. Even the way she got her start, Stephanie, what was her best friend's name? She had a best friend that died mysteriously, like jumped out of a building or fell off a building or something. And then when Lady Gaga appeared, right, like a few years later, when she showed up on the scene, she was mimicking that person, her friend that had died's whole look, her whole everything. Like she stole it from this kid. Interesting, just things to look into. All the symbolism, all the stuff she's sung about in all these songs throughout the years, it's very obvious, you know, she's deep into this. She's also friends with Marina Abramovic. Done some a lot of strange things with her. I did a video probably 4 or 5 years ago on her and Marina Abramovic doing a strange study of sound. You can find that on my channel. Be warned, I even warned you in the video though, for the weird sounds they're creating. It's very strange. So more of that, more spells being cast by these witches, I'm sure. Anyway, let's see what's going on here. Lady Gaga has done a lot in 2018. She wrapped up her tour. Oh, sorry, quickly too. Mods, thanks for being here as well. So far, I've only seen Tamra and Effie, but anybody else? Oh, Allie too, I think. But thanks, as always, for being here. Appreciate it. Lady Gaga has done a lot in 2018. She wrapped up her tour behind her 2016 album, Joanne. She's been promoting her smash hit movie, A Star is Born, and she spent time preparing for her upcoming Las Vegas residency, a show called Enigma. Unsurprisingly, it appears that Gaga is doing some innovative things in the show, and among them is assuming a titular new identity, Enigma. So obviously, when I see truly an Illuminati celebrity talking about alter egos, well, you know, it piques my interest. Of course, we know the MK Ultra connection with a lot of this. So I just want to play some of these videos. They're kind of weird, but, you know, check them out. Who knows?
I'm Chris, by the way.
Gaga, yes, or you can call me Stephanie.
Stephanie would be
or
great.
Enigma.
So anyway, so, you know, I'm sure she's going to call it some kind of performance art or something, but just remember this. A picture is worth 1,000 words. Is that what they say? Yeah, so it's, you know, birds of a feather flock together, right? So here she is with the witch, one of the most famous witches. I mean, to me, Marina Abramovic is like the nowadays, like the new equivalent of like an Aleister Crowley. Just a very popular witch, popular occultist, has connections in politics, has connections in entertainment. Another thing to remember about Lady Gaga, remember this, is this picture here, which really puts things in perspective for me. This one right here. How does some pop star get to hang out in the President's Club, right? Maybe I'm just looking too much into it. Who knows, right? But anyway, there you go. There's the first story. Are you ready? Buckle up. Hey, okay, wow, guess what? You know, every week I try to find a Doom Alert video. I think I have 2 this week. One of them's on the fence. I'm not sure. We'll see what you think about that one. But this one is definitely a Doom break. So it looks like this week, it's always a gamble, every week. You never know what video is going to pop up next, what's going to be in line, where I'm going to start, We try to keep it interesting. We're keeping you on your toes. But this week we found the Doom Break. So let's go ahead and check this out. This is a real story and just broke, I guess, earlier today. But this cat was found exactly 1 month after that campfire, they called it, in Paradise, California, the big fire. So check this out.
Timber! Hi, baby! Come on, Timber! Come on, baby girl! Tim! Come on, baby!
Oh, sorry. And real quick, let me just add, we're going to play the whole thing. It's a great clip. There's even a special surprise at the end. There's kind of a twist at the end. So hang out and check this out.
Come on, Timber! Come on, baby girl! Tim! Come on, baby! Tim! Hi, baby girl! Come on! Take the food. Take the food. Tim! Timmy! Tim! Tim! Hi, baby! Hi! Hi, Tim! Hi, baby girl! You look so good! Hi, baby! We're right here! Hi! You made it! You made it! You made it! Oh, it's okay, baby. Oh, you look so good. We're right here. We're here for you. We're right here. You got it, baby girl. She's hungry. It's okay. It's okay.
Cool, huh? That almost made me cry. I had to wait. Hold on. Okay, I'm better now. Oh, that's just me. I can't help it. I like cats. What can I say? But yeah, how about that little surprise at the very end? I thought that was kind of cool. That word, you got to be careful what you say with the algorithm here on YouTube nowadays. Pedos are now calling themselves minor attracted persons, MAPS, and want inclusion in LGBTQ movement. Of course they do. And I've covered some of this in the past. This continues to be a story, and it will continue to be a story. That slippery slope everybody was talking about with the passage of gay marriage and things like this. And they were mocked and ridiculed. Anybody who said this is a slippery slope, where is it going to end? Well, of course, most of us saw that this is it, This is definitely one of the places it's going to end, where that rainbow is going to stop, is going to be with these people, right? Because as we become more permissive in our society, or it's forced upon, we're being forced to be more permissive about everything. And of course, this is going to happen. Because now it's getting to the point where, you can have litigation put on you. You can lose your life, your career, everything, if you're against this particular subject, those particular people, the LGBTQ. It's getting real. It's getting serious. It's a new fascism. But for some reason, it's, put out there in movies and TV shows and everything else as these are the best people out there, the sweetest people, most kind, godlike, pure, funny, pretty, whatever. But yeah, pedos seek to be a part of the LGBT community, even going so far as to make a pride flag for Gay Pride Month. The MAP, No MAP community tries to pull at people's heartstrings by claiming that they are misunderstood, marginalized people, and that as long as their attraction to the children is not acted upon, or in some cases when they get permission from the child, right? Because that's coming too. Giving children permission to choose, that they should not be villainized. Okay. I'm pretty sure somebody photoshopped that picture. That can't be real. Is that real? That can't be. Anyway, just sharing this with you, that info. Apparently they're going by this new term now. Says they are rebranding themselves as MAPS, or minor attracted persons, in an effort to gain acceptance to be included into the community. We got that for years now. This is magazines talking here. For years now, we've been telling you that eventually the ever-growing alphabet soup, that is the LGBTQ movement, would at some point have to add a P to their acronym, the letter P, of course, standing for pedos. Why is this inevitable? Because of their motto, all love is love. And I talked about that as well. It's the love is love movement. That's a big part of this New World Order. Better get on board or get out the way, right? Love is love. It's all pure. But wait, the Word of God says otherwise. In Romans, it says, For this cause God gave them up unto vile affections. We know this. You're going to get in trouble, magazine online. Now the end begins if you keep talking about stuff like that. Anyway, a lot of this is just, it's like an editorial. Just this guy's giving his opinion. I want to throw that out there, though. Seems to be something we'll probably be seeing more of, I'm sure, very soon. No doubt. Just something I want to share with you here. I thought this was really uncool. But again, this is truly an attack on our Heavenly Father. We're seeing it this time. It's a new series coming out, TBS series called Miracle Workers, where Daniel Radcliffe, who of course is Harry Potter, but it's where he plays an angel. And guess who plays God? Find it. Looking. Here it is. Steve Buscemi is God. But just check this out. This is all I needed to see. But here you go.
Oh God, please stop this terrible typhoon. Is that the one that goes whooshy whooshy or spinny spinny? Whooshy whooshy.
I mean, that's all I needed to see. So, I mean, literally nothing is sacred. Oh, I know. I'm just, I got no sense of humor. I'm being an old fuddy-duddy. But for real, that's not cool, man. I mean, this is how they're portraying God now in popular entertainment. This is one example. I'll show you another one. But yeah, so he's the idiot. He's the moron, Our Heavenly Father, creator of all, is the dupe. He's the dipshit. He's the moron, right? But let's see. God in preacher. This is how they portray our Heavenly Father, the Almighty, the Most High. This is how he's portrayed in a Preacher TV series from, what's his name? The guy that produces it. Superbad. God, what is the guy's name? I can't believe I can't remember his name. Somebody's probably screaming it at me. But anyway. Oh, Seth Rogen. That's it. Seth Rogen produces this and directs some of these. Yeah, I mean, this is the way they're portraying our Heavenly Father, the Almighty, in popular entertainment in more ways than one. So here he's in a creepy, perverted sex type dog outfit. And then he's also the dupe, the idiot. Right? And then this is the way they portray the bloodline of Jesus Christ right here in the Preacher as well. And I'll just say that image, I'm sure, speaks for itself. There you have it. This is really interesting here. Because last week there was that news story out about why did the earth ring like a bell? Do you remember that story? They had captured some kind of like massive vibration that kind of like came from the earth. Let me check this out. You seeing that footage? Here, I'll make it a little bigger. This is apparently from the ISS. I know that not all of you believe that any of this is real at all. Some people don't even believe in space out there. That being said, still, some people do believe this is actually from the ISS. But either way, this is an event. This happened. And if it didn't happen, they're creating the story and putting it out there for a reason. I'll meet you halfway. How's that? Maybe that's part of it, Maybe this is a predictive programming, some kind of a thing where they're getting us ready for the fake alien invasion, or perhaps real alien invasion, but they'll be demons. So even that, there's a couple camps there, right? Project Bluebeam, is that what we're looking at? Or are we looking at like truly the fallen ones showing up in form of alien or whatever, and a true like attack, like Space Force enacted, a real end times sci-fi movie happening in real time. Just shooting out the possibilities here. But anyway, this, whatever this was enormous, they say. And this guy was recording straight from the live feed of ISS. So if this is real, okay, it's pretty incredible. Whatever that thing is, it's massive, but whatever it is. Oh, and then so there you go. That was the live feed, and then they cut it right there. Interesting, eh? Let's go ahead and read some of the story here. Put that on pause. In a video posted online, a mysterious object seems to appear above the planet. The glowing object, which appears bluish in hue with a white center, can be seen in the background of NASA's live feed. As the camera zooms in, the alarming size of it becomes clearer as it towers over the planet. Bright blue gases surrounding the figure seem to shift and change on the screen, appearing in the background behind the International Space Station. But NASA's feed is promptly cut short, reading, "Please stand by. The high-definition Earth viewing experiment is either switching cameras, or we are experiencing a temporary loss of signal with the International Space Station." Unsurprisingly, the unexpected cut left conspiracy theorists up in arms. One stunned viewer wrote, "That was a weird-looking blob next to the space station." Another added, "NASA is lying." A third argued the object could be a, quote, space ice ball, with viewers noticing the object looked like a drop of water in zero gravity. But this is by no means the first time the ISS feed has picked up on something strange in the Earth's atmosphere. Earlier this year, viewers noticed a white object floating across the ISS's live feed. Okay. So it's not just space where UFOs have been seen in recent months. Footage surfaced earlier today of a bizarre triangular-shaped object hovering over Ohio. I didn't see this one. Earlier this week, there were fears an alien portal had opened up in Australia during a thunderstorm. Why am I not finding these videos? It comes after Daily Star Online revealed how alien technology may have been used in the biblical story of the Walls of Jericho. Wow, the story really went off the rails there, didn't it? Got pretty wild there at the end. But I'm kind of curious about this bizarre triangular-shaped object hovering over Ohio. I don't think we saw this one. Let's take a look. It says, in the video, 5 bright lights in a triangle shape can be seen bursting through the clouds in broad daylight. I like that. I like that already. Okay, let's check this out. May have stumbled into a real gem. GEM.
Fire it out. It's about almost like, what, 2 p.m.?
Interesting. All right, that's a pretty good one. Let's go ahead and move along then, shall we? What else do we have? What else is on the docket? Antarctica bombshell is master pyramid found on satellite image. Antarctica. Why do I have trouble saying that? Antarctica.
You should start looking at the possibility.
I have had a lot of people write me about Antarctica, and I've been collecting videos for months, just kind of putting stuff together on Antarctica myself, because there's a lot going on out there. It's really interesting, and continues to be. This story is not from the last week, but I still wanted to throw it in here. It's from the 23rd of November. So just wanted to throw that out there. There's a lot going on in Antarctica. It's still hard for me to say that. An excerpt from History Channel show Ancient Aliens shows a satellite image of a pyramid-shaped object on the snowy plains of the South Pole. It clearly has 4 sides and appears to rise up. The potential pyramid was spotted by Joseph White near the Shackleton mountain range, sending conspiracy theorists and experts alike into meltdown. Main reason I wanted to show you that too is it reminded me of something else. Let's see. Hoax. Oops. Twitter. Is that right? There it is. The Buzz Aldrin tweet. There it is. So this right here turned out to be a hoax. I don't know if you knew that or not. I did a video on this way back. It's been a couple of years now. But can you read that? It's supposed to have been a tweet from Buzz Aldrin, right? Famous astronaut Buzz Aldrin. We are all in danger. It is evil itself. And this is of a pyramid in Antarctica, right? So remember that? And again, that turned out to be a hoax. There you go. It's a little better. We are all in danger. It is evil itself. A perfect little hoax, too, because, I mean, that's so cryptic. Of course, the occult symbolism connected to the weirdness of the South Pole and what's going on down there. It's a lot has been going on down there for the last year or so, a couple of years. This was good bait. But anyway, just want to kind of superimpose that, I guess, or just show you this other side of it. But now they're talking legit about the pyramids being found down there. So there we go. So I wonder, and I have wondered for a long time, if somehow Antarctica will tie into a disclosure, like the alien disclosure, a fallen alien disclosure, or the final battle with what they'll call aliens, right? Really is getting just cuckoo crazy out there. Kevin Hart steps down as Oscars host amid backlash from past homophobic tweets. You probably heard about this. This news went pretty big. The heck's that? It's just crazy, though. And this is from, let's see, I'll just read some here. Kevin Hart stepped down as Oscar host late Thursday following a crisis stemming from the comedian's refusal to apologize for his previous homophobic comments and tweets. I told you that this and all that community and all that is being weaponized against humanity and against our liberty, your freedom to think, freedom to speak as you want. What's happening? I've made the choice to step down from hosting this year's Oscars. This is because I do not want to be a distraction on a night that should be celebrated by so many amazing, talented artists, Hart wrote on Twitter, before uttering words he had refused to say just hours before. I sincerely apologize to the LGBTQ community for my insensitive words in my past. All right. Anyway, I really don't care to read the rest of the story. But oh wait, well here's an example. I do want to share that. So an interview Hart gave to Rolling Stone in 2015 has also resurfaced. Hart had said, "Keep in mind, I'm not homophobic. Be happy. Do what you want to do. But me, as a heterosexual male, if I can prevent my son from being gay, I will." I mean, cheers, right? I mean, I see nothing wrong with that. But, look what you did. You were naughty. You're not thinking the way you're supposed to. This goes against the narrative. Tisk, tisk. So there you have it. This is the time we're in. Let's see if Kevin has something to say about this.
I swear, man, our world is becoming beyond crazy. I'm not going to let the craziness frustrate me or anger me, especially when I worked hard to get to the mental space that I am at now. Team calls me, "Oh my God, Kevin, the world is upset about tweets you did years ago." Oh my God. Guys, I'm almost 40 years old. If you don't believe that people change, grow, evolve as they get older, I don't know what to tell you. If you want to hold people in a position where they always have to justify or explain their past, then do you. I'm the wrong guy, man. I'm in a great place, a great mature place, where all I do is spread positivity. If you're not doing that, you're not on my page.
I say fair enough, huh? Isn't that crazy, though, man? I mean, that's the time you're in. Like people, I'm sure Hollywood celebs and even, some of us regular plebes down here, plenty of us, I'm sure, are cleaning up our histories just in case. I personally have nothing to worry about because my only online identity has always been KJ, my nickname, always KJ Osborne. So, and I don't post personal stuff. I've never have. Like I got into this online, social media stuff and all that because of my awakening about 10 years ago. Most of y'all already know my story, so that's kind of falls in with that. And before that, I was never on Facebook or Twitter or anything. So it all just kind of fell in line. It's like perfect. So I can just kind of be KJ and just share stuff I'm interested in, share like, the truth stuff and videos and this and that and the other, right? And that's how it all started for me. So, I do feel really lucky in that respect. I don't have any kind of a personal trail online, of anything, but still, I mean, does this affect any of you? I wonder, man, how many of you out there are kind of getting a little concerned about some of the stuff that may be in your past here online, You never know, right? Isn't it sad though? It really is sick. Your history is being weaponized against you. It's like such a troll culture. It's like they keep giving the keys to the kingdom to the trolls in this world, right? To the little gargoyles. Letting the gargoyles run wild. This is just one of those crazy news stories. It's a bit of a clip. I think we can watch this together. Angry deli customer attacks worker for bacon, egg, and cheese sandwich. I mean, why wouldn't he, right? All right, so let me get this screen big for you and me. Let's turn up some volume. Let's prepare to watch this guy freak out.
Sandwich order led to one angry tirade in Brooklyn. A customer threatened and cussed at the clerk, throwing anything within reach. News 4's Jackie Beckford has the exclusive interview with the victim, who says he's still frightened to this day.
Well, that's because the clerk says the man threw more than bread and shopping baskets at his head. He says that customer also threatened to shoot him over a sandwich. Adamant and very specific about his breakfast sandwich order, this deli customer's profanity-laced rant soon turns physical. Watch as he pounds on the counter, then launches a bag of bread at the clerk.
And he just keep throw it out, all stop in my head.
Sanjay Patel was the target of the bizarre sandwich attack that now has police looking for this guy. Patel says the man walked into the High Mango Deli on Flushing Avenue in Bushwick last week, demanding he make him a sandwich.
And I say you gotta wait like 5-10 minutes because I have like couple order.
That's when the tirade began. This video just a snippet of the attack. Patel says the irate customer threw a computer tablet and metal stand lying on the counter and even a handbasket straight at his head. But it's what the clerk heard him say that still gives him nightmares.
When I sleep nighttime, I still dream it because he told me to, I'm gonna shoot you. He told me to, he gonna shoot me.
Now, Patel says the suspect hopped into a car with 2 other men after he called police. The clerk himself, well, he was treated at a hospital for his bruises, but he said he's still afraid.
Just people tripping, people flipping out. A lot of these stories, strangely enough, come out of New York City. I've found some very interesting clips out of New York since I've been doing this show. I'm sure some of y'all remember some of these, but I lived out there myself for almost a year in Williamsburg, and that's in Brooklyn. And I really liked it, but it was just it's sensory overload is the only problem. It's like it was hard to find quiet space, quiet time. I remember that. And you just stacked on top of each other. I was in a loft with like 4 other people. And it's busy, the city, there's noise there, but there's an energy there. I mean, for a kid from Oklahoma, it was pretty cool to do that for about a year. I was definitely, by the time that year was up, I was ready to roll out. But New York City, there you go. I'm rambling. This guy was mad about a sandwich. Great music scene too, where some of the areas I went into out there. I love music, and a pretty cool scene out there at the time. This is a long time ago, mind you. Study: half of all high school students don't trust the media to report accurately and fairly. I love this. I love this headline. Isn't that great? It's not always doom and gloom, man. Like there's hope. There's hope for these youngsters. That's good. There's hope. And that's it. I guess it's a video. Oh, wait. Man, they're all doing it. A lot of these sites are doing this now. They're making you pay to read the article. I've noticed a lot of them are taking away their comment sections. I don't know about these guys. It says you can have a comment section here, but a lot of the other sites I've seen, just because I'm going through news all the time, it's kind of part of the way I do this show. I've noticed a lot of these people are shutting down their comment sections. Anyway, I just want to share that with you. Headline's good enough for me. Study: half of all high school students, don't trust the media to report accurately and fairly. This is good. This is good. We can't say they're all drones. They're all asleep. Sheeple, Generation Xanax. Doubling in children being treated for addiction. New figures reveal the rise of Generation Xanax, with a doubling in young people being treated for addiction to anti-anxiety drugs. The statistics from Public Health England show 315 cases in which those under the age of 18 were treated for problems with benzodiazepines, a class of drugs used to treat anxiety and insomnia. They include the drug alprazolam, better known as Xanax, where there was a 6-fold rise in numbers treated. Latest NHS figures suggest 1 in 8 children has a mental health disorder amid warnings of an epidemic of anxiety. Earlier this year, an investigation found pupils as young as 11 were taking anti-anxiety drugs, with 240 ambulance call-outs for children who had taken medication like Xanax. Wow. Charities claimed some pupils were dealing it on school premises. Man. And I don't want to sound... When I read this, I'm not trying to sound funny or goofy or cheesy, but I have to it's how I really feel and see. And even in my own mind, I'm always separating, faith between faith and just goofy religion. But when I read these articles and I see these, it's just, to me, the world needs Jesus. I see these people need Jesus. We all do. And I see people just screaming it out, without even realizing it. Epidemic of anxiety. All these kids getting hooked on these anti-anxiety drugs. the whole health issue. I've got a show I'm going to do soon, man. I'm still going through some changes with my health stuff. Some of y'all know I had a heart attack a few months ago. I'll tell you this, man. I actually just made another major change recently. It's because of something a lot of you turned me on to. So again, thank you. Okay, you guys gave me some great tips and advice. So I had the heart attack a few months back. I was also considered type 2 diabetic. So, and even back then, I was surprised when I had it. I was like, well, I thought I was supposed to be 300 pounds. And they're like, no, it doesn't work that way. I was like, all right. And it turns out I'm adopted, but it turns out it was all genetic stuff. So because of that, keeping the blood sugar down, as soon as I had the heart attack, I went immediately into a keto type diet where I was just doing like meat, eggs, cheese, keeping my blood sugar down. But my focus wasn't where it should have been. Recently I went back to the doctor and my bad cholesterol was around 500. Now, I didn't even know much about the numbers at the time until they showed me the graph and all that and what that means. It's not good. Like, it's really bad. This is why I always pray about just my health. And as long as the Lord wants me here, I'm here. It's in his hands. You know what I mean? But when I saw that, man, I decided to do a big change. A lot of you had told me to check out a documentary called Forks Over Knives. And I kept putting it off. And finally, around that time, when I saw the cholesterol stuff, within a few days, I went and watched it, and I'm so grateful I did. And thank you so much to all of you who told me to watch this. Forks Over Knives. It's on Netflix. Another one's called What the Health. Another good one. But the point of me telling you this is that now, in the last several weeks, I've completely changed my diet to a fully plant-based diet. I mean, no meat, no cheese, no eggs, no nothing. It's like, I don't want to say no nothing. I felt that way at first. I was like, this is going to suck. I'm not going to have any choices. And then a whole world opened up to me. I mean, it's almost like I'm just eating food now I never ate before, and I'm making it an adventure and making it fun for myself. You know what I mean? Because I'm a red-blooded American boy growing up in the Midwest. So it was always, meat and eggs for me. You know what I mean? So I've had to make some changes, but it's been exciting. So I'm going to do a show soon about this, because even with that, I'm very grateful I have an audience, and this is something hopefully I can help you guys out with if you're dealing with some of this stuff. So let me get it together and keep on this for a while and see what happens. I'm going to go get my numbers checked at the doctor again in a few months, and I've kicked the medication. I'm just straight up doing plant-based diet right now. That's it, and I'm watching everything. So it's been incredible. I'll be honest. I feel great too. So anyway, I'm rambling about health. Boring. Let's hear some more about your health, KJ, right? So anyway, there you go, man. Generation Xanax. It's a drag, isn't it? Is nothing private anymore? Shocking extent of how big firms harvest your data, from children's voice recordings, passport info, and even pregnant mothers' due dates. The disturbing scale of the personal data harvested and traded by multinationals can be revealed today. Health details, children's voice recordings, and copies of passports can be at risk when customers tick an online consent box. Analysis by the Mail found that Marriott International, Facebook, Asda, PayPal, BT, and Tesco engaged in hidden data harvesting and sharing. Giant firms can use personal data. I always see data. I keep doing that to myself. I can't help it. I get tongue-tied. Giant firms can use personal data to build a profile of customers for targeted adverts or to pass to other organizations. Examples include pregnant women's due dates being farmed out by Asda to mystery third-party companies for marketing. Children's voices recording on the YouTube Kids app being used by Google to promote other apps. That is creepy. Passport photos given to PayPal for account verification may be shared with Microsoft for fraud prevention and the testing of new products. Health details, ethnic origin, and political views of Facebook users being used by the social network for targeted advertising. Viewers of BT television being profiled for advertisers according to profiles of their television watching and telephone call records. Okay. I think most of us are aware that this has been going on for a while, right? There you go. I just feel it's going to be a boring article, so I don't want to read the whole thing. But we get it. We get the main, the gist of it. You know what I mean? I wasn't sure if we covered this last week or not, but I just want to throw it out there just for fun anyway. We got time, right, guys? We got time. It's 7:43. So we've been on 43 minutes. We got plenty of time, guys. Kick back, relax, grab your favorite beverage, your favorite way to relax, whatever that may be, as long as it's you're not harming anybody. And just enjoy, right? Let's enjoy this. We got some real nuggets in here tonight for sure. Like a horror movie, terrified mom flees her home after finding 5,500 maggot-filled bats in her garden that mysteriously fell from the sky. Philippe Ashur found the dead bats outside her front door and said the dead creatures were filled with maggots when she found them in her front garden. This is just like a straight-up horror film. It really is. We did do this one, I believe, so I won't stay on it much longer, but I thought that was pretty crazy. Wow, look at that. That's a bat? Is that a bat? Wow. All right, there you go. Here we go. Men's wieners are half an inch smaller if they're exposed to high levels of chemicals in nonstick frying pans and fast food packaging while in the womb, study finds. When I first read this article, I was thinking about the whole gay frogs thing. Remember that? People still, it's a meme now. People make fun of Alex Jones for the gay frog thing. Meanwhile, there were real studies on that, correct? I guess that was all connected to bisphenol A, and that's real. BPA is real. It's in your water bottles, and so when you leave your water bottle out the car or whatever, or it heats up, in the sun, still got a little water in it, it releases the BPA, the chemicals in the water, and then there you have it. I don't know how hot it has to be. Maybe it doesn't have to be that hot, but it's pretty freaky. And apparently it had what BPA has a lot of estrogen or something like this, or has that kind of an effect on males. Creepy crap, I'd say. Men could end up with wieners half an inch shorter than usual if their parents were exposed to high levels of a chemical used in nonstick frying pans. Scientists have found the chemicals called PFCs can interfere with male hormones and lead to sexual organs being significantly shorter and thinner. And this effect is not only seen in the womb, the researchers said. PFCs could have toxic effects in teenagers too. The chemicals also found in waterproof clothing and grease-proof packaging for food get into the bloodstream and reduce testosterone levels. Scientists found young men who grew up in an area polluted with PFCs have wieners 12.5% shorter and 6.3% thinner than healthy men. Researchers at the University of Padua in Italy made the discovery after measuring the wieners of 383 men with an average age of 18. Padua, near Venice, is one of 4 areas in the world known to have high levels of PFC pollution, which used to be used in Teflon coating until it was phased out in 2013. The chemicals, officially called perfluoroalkyl compounds, are also a health hazard in Dordrecht in the Netherlands, Shandong in China, and West Virginia in the USA. The Italian researchers found PFCs will bind to testosterone receptors and reduce levels of the male sex hormone used in the body. This is, when I see this, I see it as just more examples of how the beast system destroys, how the enemy destroys us or tries to through this system. As a result, men grow up with smaller wieners, less healthy and mobile sperm, and a shorter distance between their scrotum and a sign of lower fertility. As the first report on water contamination of PFCs goes back to 1977, the magnitude of the problem is alarming, said the researchers. It affects an entire generation of young individuals from 1978 onwards. PFCs come in hundreds of forms and are widely used to make everyday products more convenient and longer lasting. They're found in fast food packaging, paper plates, stain-resistant carpets, windshield washing fluid, firefighting foam, and waterproof clothing. PFCs are also in some glues, cosmetics, medicines, electronics, cleaning products, polishes and waxes, insecticides, and paints. Guys, we all have small wieners now. PFCs are everywhere. There's no escaping it. but their toxic and potentially cancer-causing effects are only in the early stages of being understood by scientists. Studies have linked the chemical to early menopause, low birth weight, lower fertility, thyroid problems, high cholesterol, bladder cancer, and worse immune system function. Wow. Anyway, we get it. I almost don't want to finish that article. It's it's no fun. That's why, just for me, I always just pray for my protection, pray for my health. Obviously, that hasn't helped too much considering my health issues. But then again, hey, I know he's got a plan for everything, and he'll use even this situation for the best. And that's I kind of have been seeing that lately. I really think that hopefully I can use the heart attack situation and it'll be turned around for good, through our Father, to where I can help other people by telling you my experience with this plant-based diet. I'm not getting paid to tell you about a plant-based diet. I'm not, trying to sell anything. It's nothing like that. Just, friend to friend, human to human. So far, it's been great for me. Trust me, I was one of the last people ever that would want to have done this, ever. And I used to even, just think, that's that hippie stuff, right? Anyway, so, we all grow, we all change, we all evolve. And this is life or death type stuff as well. So I'm rambling about health again, aren't I? Time to move on. Okay, we heard enough. KJ, we know. You had a heart attack and guys have small wieners. PETA asks people to stop using anti-animal language. We covered some of this last week, but they ran the story throughout the past week a few more times. So it's worthy. So I want to go ahead and share it. And see, PETA sucks because it's another one of those, it's extreme. It's another one of the reasons I never wanted to look into, being a vegan or a vegetarian. You grow up and you see PETA doing these crazy, idiotic type things. It's just like, ugh, I don't want to be associated with that. But like I said, again, we grow, we learn. PETA is asking people to stop using common phrases like bring home the bacon, claiming that it's anti-animal language that trivializes cruelty to animals. On Tuesday, PETA tweeted advice on how people can remove speciesism from daily conversations. It included suggested replacement phrases for common phrases that the organization says are harmful. Instead of saying bring home the bacon, the organization suggests using the phrase bring home the bagels. They also say people should stop saying kill two birds with one stone and say feed two birds with one scone. Other common phrases PETA says should no longer be used include be the guinea pig, beat a dead horse, and take the bull by the horns. Those phrases should be replaced with be the test tube, feed a fed horse, and take the flower by the thorns. World's going crazy. Oh boy, what do we have here? Yeah, this is a cool one. All right, let's go ahead and check that. This is from our friend Hidden Underbelly 2.0. One of them there, maybe UFOs, not sure. You decide. A bizarre greenish plasma appears during electrical storm. Western Australia. There's a lot going on with this imagery, so check this out. I'm going to turn the mic towards the screen, and I'll be back in about a minute. We've been on almost an hour. I'm going to grab another drink real quick.
Look. What is that? What is that? Isn't that weird? I so hope I got that on video. The lightning was right there, and that's what happened after lightning. Is that? It's the Northern Lights. It's the Northern Lights in Kalgoorlie. That is so weird. So you can see it. But if I go away, it's still there. Look, it's still there.
If I get out of hello. Yeah.
Strange, right? What could that be? I wonder if it somehow connected to that orb or that ball light or whatever it is on the ground. It looks like we have a guest. Hold on a second. Hi, Chubbs. How you doing? What are you doing? Oh, well, you just walked up on me like this, looking at me. What's going on? You want to say hi? All right, you go ahead and be grumpy then. As long as you're being good, you can hang out. All right? I'm going to show you this video later of this cat that survived those fires out in California. It's going to bring tears to your eyes. Okay, so there we go. Oh, yeah. Festive satanic statue added to Illinois State House. So just more of this stuff manifesting, like literal satanic stuff manifesting, like the statues, right? Placed between a Christmas tree and a menorah, the 4-foot sculpture depicts a snake coiled around an outstretched arm holding an apple. It's the first display sponsored by the Chicago chapter of the Temple of Satan. The state government said the temple had the same right as other religious groups to have a display. Under the Constitution, the First Amendment, people have a right to express their feelings and their thoughts. Dave Drucker, spokesman for the Illinois Secretary of State, told the State Journal-Register. This recognizes that. The move has been criticized on social media by Illinois Family Action, an anti-abortion pressure group. There you have it. Just, again, more of this stuff, like literally manifesting before our very eyes, even in entertainment. I mean, they just saw the end of a TV series called Lucifer about how cool the devil was, right? How cool Lucifer is. Marlboro wants to get into pot business with legal cannabis industry booming. This is something I heard about when I still lived in California. I remember people talking about out there that Marlboro had already developed packaging or whatever to actually sell marijuana. So anyway, that was years ago. So now you have the owner of legendary Marlboro cigarette company Altria is reportedly in takeover talks with Canadian cannabis maker Cronos. Interesting name. Cronos, as slowing cigarette sales are pushing the Virginia-based firm to seek new business opportunities. So there you go. Bunch of boring business talk, but it is interesting. But, it's nice to know that Marlboro's business is dwindling. You know, I smoked cigarettes most of my life, really, until just several months ago. Well, actually, until about 5 years ago, I started vaping, and then I totally quit nicotine right after the heart attack, you know. But anyway, I know, KJ, you're talking about your health again. You know, all right, thank you. Thanks for keeping me in line. Sorry. Apple CEO Tim Cook banning. Oh boy, so here's more of that. The thought police are coming for you. Banning hate division is right thing to do. But let's hear what he says. This is the founder of Apple, or the CEO of Apple.
To stay rooted and to keep our devices connected to the humanity that makes us, us. We do that in many ways. One of the most important is how we honor a teaching that can be found in Judaism, but is shared across all faiths and traditions. It's a lesson that was carried forward by the late Eli Wiesel. May his memory be a blessing. It's a lesson put into practice by America's Muslim community, who raised thousands for the victims of the Tree of Life killings. Lo ta'amod al-dam re'eka. Do not be indifferent to the bloodshed of your fellow man. Do not be indifferent. This mandate moves us to speak up for immigrants and for those who seek opportunity in the United States. We do it not only because they're individual.
Anyway, I was waiting for him to get to some of the good stuff. We're just going to skip it. I can't hear him talk for very long. I get that same feeling in my stomach that I get when I see Hillary Clinton in anything. It's just like this guttural reaction type thing. So anyway, I can't listen to him talk for very long. But anyway, Tim Cook, was awarded the Anti-Defamation League's, which that's one of the fact checkers for YouTube as well. Like it's the ADL. I'm pretty sure. Is that right? I think it is. The Anti-Defamation League was. Let me see. Yeah. Okay. Come on. Yeah, YouTube calls on ADL to help censor the web. So yeah, Anti-Defamation League. There you have it. And then Tim Cook got his little award from there. Where was that video? That it? Darn, I lost it. Anyway, you get the point, right? Let's move on. Thought this was interesting. One U.S. college's campaign to block access to adult content is making headway at other schools as a once moribund part of the culture war takes on a new life. Its adherents convinced that porn is like prostitution, only worse. It's another one of those stories that I see. The way my mind works, I mean, it lines up with the one we were just looking at a little bit ago about the new generation, the youth, high school students don't trust the news as much, right? They're questioning more. So it's nice to see, you know, so it's not all doom and gloom all the time. I mean, there are, you know, glimpses of humanity's awakening, right, all the time. And this is the good news. I see this as good news, you know. A Notre Dame University student became a lightning rod for college anti-porn activism after penning a letter with 80 other male students demanding a porn filter be installed on campus Wi-Fi. Jim Martinson, a senior at the college, led the call for Notre Dame to filter internet access in order to stand up for the dignity of all people, especially women. I mean, I love this. I don't even need to know what this kid's about, because at this point, we don't. He could be an SJW or he could be a Christian. I really don't know. So this is one of those things where I don't care where this guy's coming from politically or whatever else. I'm loving that he's doing this. This is good. Porn's incredibly dangerous. One of the most powerful addictions I ever had in my life was to pornography. I mean, addicted for years. And it was through my faith, my trust in Christ, and lots of prayer. And I was delivered from that. But man, I remember thinking for years, I couldn't ever see a future of myself not being addicted to it. I was so deeply addicted to porn for so long. But anyway, all right, KJ, health and your porn addiction, shut up, right? Okay, guys. I'm sorry. Pornography is prostitution through the lens of a camera, but more abusive. It exploits the men and women involved, advances a twisted narrative about human sexuality, and harms those who consume it. Martinson was deluged by emails from students at other universities hoping to replicate his campaign. As president of socially conservative campus group Students for Child-Oriented Policy, he has been involved in several unsuccessful anti-porn crusades. This year, however, the student bodies seemed genuinely receptive to his proposal. Amelia Irvine, a senior at Georgetown University who once dumped a boyfriend because of his porn habits, told the Daily Beast that she planned to gather support during the winter break in preparation for launching her own campaign in the spring, while students at Princeton and Penn State reported they are already spreading the word about the dangers of porn with tabling and flyering campaigns. Harvard student Will Long said he hoped to partner with left-leaning women's groups to push Martens's anti-porn message, blaming internet smut for the rise of hookup culture and dating apps. One might expect such women's groups to call a letter written by 80 men purporting to speak on their behalf an act of male chauvinism, given feminism's current sex-positive slant and the move to legalize and empower sex workers. But more than 60 female students backed Martens's campaign with their own pro-filter missive, claiming on-campus porn was, quote, preventing men and women from encountering the full personhood of one another. Man, see, that's awake. I love that. That is so true. Yes, break the spell of pornography. Definitely. Love it. Love it. There you go. Good news, man. It's not all doom and gloom, right? Okay, most of it is, but still. Sex bots are coming. Scientists say digisexual's inevitable as more people bond with robots. Academics are arguing that many people will soon be identifying as digisexuals and taking their sexual identity from having sex with robots. While sex robots are currently quite primitive, a new report published in the Journal of Sexual and Relationship Therapy argues that before long, they'll be able to look, speak, and act like real people and will be specifically designed to fulfill a person's desires. The report's authors, Neil MacArthur and Marky L.C. Twist from the University of Manitoba, Canada, argue that we need to be ready to deal with the phenomenon when it comes to fruition. Craziness. There's no question then that sex bots are coming. Our view is that they will represent a different sort of sexual experience from what existing technologies offer. First of all, people will form an intense connection with their robot companions. There's a chemical released when you're having sex with somebody. I can't remember what it's called, but it bonds you to that person. And I think it's allegedly, or what they say, is more powerful in women towards their partners. But there's some kind of a chemical that's released there. So that's interesting as well. You know, you do form like a soul tie. How do you form a soul tie to a freaking robot? And that's where you start wondering about, you know, we know that these disemboweled demonic spirits, these demonic entities can enter into people and even objects. There's cursed objects, right? So are you doing it with the demon, you know, in essence, when you're putting yourself inside one of these robots? I don't know. This is new territory, guys. Some scary new territory we're getting into here. Interesting stuff. This is just this isn't even news. Sorry, this is old. This is from several months ago. I was looking at this for something else, but while it's up, Alzheimer's patients light up after receiving dolls and plush puppies for therapy. They're going to these old folks' homes. They're giving them stuffed animals and dolls, little baby dolls and stuffed animals. It's just one of those things. I was kind of trying to connect with something else. It went nowhere, but like I said, while it's up, I'll show it to you. So moving on. Excuse me 1 second. Hey, stop. This man shares post-surgery photos after having genitalia removed. It's another one of those. Seems like we have these kind of stories every week as well, right? These people who are just destroying themselves. You know, to me, it's like I just see humanity destroying itself. Check this out. Adam Curlykell is one unforgettable man, to say the least. He not only has covered his entire body with tattoos, but also has had both of his nipples and his genitalia removed. Whoa. It's just sad to me. This stuff is sad. It's not so shocking to me as it's just sad. I wonder, because these people, they're not happy. I never see them happy. I just wonder what causes this kind of damage to somebody. You know, what makes someone want to, you know, in essence, erase themselves, erase their own humanity. He recently shared a few photos of himself following his latest surgery, and we'll warn you, they're a bit graphic. Adam, who is 32 years old, felt both his nipples and his wiener were in the way of his body art. And as he is one of the world's most tattooed persons, including his eyes, it's understandable. Is it, though? Is that really understandable? That's all we'll look at, because down below it does start getting into, it shows some of the surgery stuff. We really don't need to be seeing that, but it's just a sad story to me, man. Some people do this to themselves. Minnesota State University professor asserts that Mary didn't give consent and accuses God of being predatory. Ruh-roh. Psychology professor and sex therapist Dr. Eric Sprankle tweeted, "The virgin birth story is about an all-knowing, all-powerful deity impregnating a human teen. There is no definition of consent that would include that scenario. Happy holidays," he says. Happy holidays. It was quickly pointed out that Mary did indeed consent, to which Sprankle argued that there is too much of a power dynamic between God and a human to have been legit. The biblical God regularly punished disobedience, Sprankle rebutted. The power difference, deity versus mortal, and the potential for violence for saying no negates her yes. To put someone in this position is an unethical abuse of power at best and grossly predatory at worst. I just showed you where they're showing the Heavenly Father as a freaking dumbass in a new TV show. He's a dumbass, dude. And then also as a perverted, you know, sex leather dog suit wearing thing. You know, there's no respect at all. It's just, you know, and now you see this. They're bringing this SJW mentality to our Heavenly Father. To put someone in this position is an unethical abuse of power at best, he says. Okay. Sprankle frequently tweets about Satanism, BDSM, and sex. No way. What? I did not see that coming. Campus Reform noted that Sprankle also decorates his Christmas tree with satanic imagery. So he's got Baphomet at the top. Of course, that's the spirit that resides within. Maybe not perhaps the Baphomet, but you know what I mean. The evil, dark spirits. Eric Sprankle. Yeah. And that, like I said, even this Satanism crap is just, it's becoming, we talk about the beast system and all this and spiritual eyes and spiritual everything, but it's like, do you really need the spiritual eyes anymore as we continue forward? As this system matures to its inevitable end? The hippies were right. It's all about vibrations, man. Why are some things conscious and others apparently not? Is a rat conscious, a bat, a cockroach, a bacterium, an electron? These questions are all aspects of the ancient mind-body problem, which has resisted a generally satisfying conclusion for thousands of years. The mind-body problem enjoyed a major rebranding over the last 2 decades and is generally known now as the hard problem of consciousness, usually capitalized nowadays, after the New York University philosopher David Chalmers coined this term in a now classic 1995 paper and his 1996 book, The Conscious Mind in Search of a Fundamental Theory. All right, let's get to the juice. That's a lot of words that don't matter to me. Here we go. An interesting phenomenon occurs when different vibrating things processes come into proximity. They will often start after a little time to vibrate together at the same frequency. They sync up, sometimes in ways that can seem mysterious. This is described today as the phenomenon of spontaneous self-organization. Examining this phenomenon leads to potentially deep insights about the nature of consciousness and about the universe more generally. All things resonate at certain frequencies. I love a lot of this kind of stuff, you know, and again, it doesn't always have to be seen as hippy dippy, you know, hippie, man, it's hippie, no, man. I mean, energy, frequencies, I even use that terminology. I mean, this stuff is real. Examining this phenomenon leads to potentially deep. Okay, Stephen Drogatz provides various examples from physics, biology, chemistry, and neuroscience to illustrate what he calls synchrony. Fireflies of certain species start flashing their little fires in sync in large gatherings of fireflies in ways that can be difficult to explain under traditional approaches. Another example is large-scale neuron firing can occur in human brains at specific frequencies, with mammalian consciousness thought to be commonly associated with various kinds of neuronal synchrony. Big words I don't understand. Laser, I'm getting angry. Lasers are produced when photons of the same power and frequency are emitted together. The moon's rotation is exactly synced with its orbit around the Earth, such that we always see the same face. Okay, this is going to start getting really deep and heavy. So if you want to check out that article, the hippies were right. It's all about vibrations, man. I don't really feel like getting into a scientific article like this right now. You know what I'm saying? It's a lot of big words, and it's a lot of thinking. You got to think. Nobody wants that, right? Start prepping electric grid prime target of terrorists, profound threat, says council. It's from December 10th. In a new report that warns that the electric grid is the prime target of terrorists, Americans are being urged to prepare for up to the next 6 months without electricity, transportation, fuel, money, and health care. Okay? People no longer... See, where'd this come from, though? Like... See, I don't know if this is just some fearmonger stuff. In a new report that warns that the... Okay, where's the new report? Maybe it's in the article that warns that the electric grid is the prime target of terrorists. Americans are being urged. This is huge. I haven't seen this on the news. Americans are being urged to prepare for up to the next 6 months without electricity, transportation, fuel. I mean, this should be like main news nonstop. I mean, if this is what's going down, people kind of need to know this, right? But it's in a new report. People no longer keep enough essentials within their homes, reducing their ability to sustain themselves during an extended, prolonged outage. We need to improve individual preparedness, said a just published report to President Trump. There needs to be more individual accountability for preparedness, adds the report, surviving a catastrophic power outage from the President's National Infrastructure Advisory Council and published by the Department of Homeland Security. Is that it? Let me see. No, that's just a link to the National Infrastructure Advisory Council. Okay. Maybe that's it. Well, I mean, it's always good to be prepared anyway. I don't know what I think about this one. I saw it in a few places. I mean, it's on the Washington Examiner. I've seen it other places as well. Might be worth a read. Just want to kind of share that with you. Something to consider. Don't freak out, Don't get scared and freak out. I don't know. Who knows? I mean, by now, if you're following this channel or whatever, you're following these shows, most of you are already hip to this, to the potentials of what's out there and coming events and whatnot. So most of you already have a plan, I'm sure. If you don't, it'd be good to have one anyway. It's definitely a good idea to have a plan. Me and my family have a plan. Good to go. You know what I mean? Like if things go south, things get bad, we've figured out something we can do. You know what I mean? It's like we're not living every day thinking about it and talking about it. And oh my gosh, you don't want to live in fear. All right. It is good though, just to be prepared for anything, just in case. You never know, right? So there you have it. This one's kind of fun. This is the other one that I guess maybe could be kind of a doom break, but I thought it was funny. I actually saw it somewhere else. Somebody else shared it somewhere else, and I thought it was pretty funny. But this is it played out real. Like this girl was really excited. She's a YouTuber. Nia Hope is her name, and she did one of the DNA tests. So check out her results. African ancestry DNA results.
So what do I do first? Welcome to the African ancestry family. Oh God, I'm literally like shaking right now. Oh gosh. Okay. So what does it say? Oh my gosh. I feel like I'm because I feel like I'm shaking. It is with great pleasure. I can't even read this right now. I can't believe I'm about to find out my results. It is with great pleasure that I report your magic clan analysis determined your oh my God, I literally cannot speak straight. Focus. Let me start over. It is with great pleasure that I report our magic clan analysis determined your maternal lineage to be of European ancestry. The mitochondrial DNA sequence that we determined from your sample belongs to a non-African lineage in the haplogroup H. Our analysis encompasses hypervariable regions 1, 2, and 3. La da 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 da. You have inherited these segments of DNA from your mother, and they have been passed on consistently from mother to daughter over the past 500 to 2,000 years. So they are unique to your maternal lineage. We analyze the variance within these regions to determine the parts of your DNA that you share with people within specific ethnic groups. Are they trying to tell me I'm white? I'm so confused. The HVR variants listed below indicate DNA sequence patterns that you share with European populations. The combinations of HVR variants determine your membership. The sequence similarity score. I really feel some type of way. Like, I really thought I was about to learn something really new and interesting about myself. And I have.
Anyway, I'll stop it there. It continues, but you can go watch it if you want sometime. I just thought it was kind of funny, the result. Shocking. African ancestry DNA results. I'm upset. Nia Hope. Anyway, there you have it. Remember this guy? Dylan Roof. Dylan Roof's pen pal busted an upscale mass murder plot. An Ohio woman who corresponded with Charleston, South Carolina church shooter Dylan Roof was accused Monday of planning to commit an upscale mass murder at a Toledo bar, according to reports. When I first read this, it reminded me of like something out of Stephen King, like out of a Stephen King book, that apparently this girl was friends with him. I think it's a girl. And yeah, it's a woman. And like she took some of the evil from him or something, I don't know. I mean, she probably had a little evil in her to begin with. But it's I guess it kind of reminds me of Apt Pupil. That's the name of the short story Stephen King wrote. It's like kind of about this too. Anyway, I'm rambling. An Ohio woman corresponded with Charleston, South Carolina shooter Dylan Roof was accused Monday of planning to commit an upscale mass murder. Elizabeth Lecron, 23, one of two people arrested in terrorism-related cases, was charged with purchasing bomb-making materials that the FBI said she intended to use at the drinking joint, the Toledo Blade. Reported, Toledo police received a tip about Lecron's social media activity and alerted the Northwest Ohio Joint Terrorism Task Force. On Friday, she brought 2 pounds of a muzzle-loading propellant and then went to another retailer in Perrysburg where she bought 665 screws of various sizes. A raid on her apartment uncovered pipe bomb materials as well as a semi-automatic rifle and other guns. Police also found her journal in which she allegedly described a plan to commit upscale mass murder. Lecron had previously indicated an interest in other attacks, including unleashing farm animals and targeting a pipeline in an undisclosed location in Georgia. Investigators alleged that she wanted to meet anarchists to help carry out the attacks and told undercover FBI agents that innocent bystanders who might be hurt were probably part of the problem. Lecron also allegedly suggested an attack on her workplace, which she described as polluting a river. Sounds like a SJW gone wild. The woman glorified mass murders, particularly Roof and the shooters who killed 13 people at Columbine, and displayed a fascination with mass casualty events. She allegedly visited a Columbine memorial and exchanged letters with Roof, a white supremacist who slaughtered 9 worshippers at an African-American church. He was convicted in federal court. Lecron, who is one of only 4 people Roof is known to have corresponded with during his incarceration in an Indiana slammer, faces up to 10 years in prison if convicted. During the same press conference, officials also announced the arrest of a 21-year-old Ohio man who allegedly planned attacks on synagogues, inspired by the man who killed 11 people at the Tree of Life synagogue in Pittsburgh in October. See, this stuff is a sickness. It's a virus. Damon Joseph, 21, was charged with attempting to provide material support to ISIS. I admire what the guy did with the shooting, actually. Joseph told an undercover agent about the Pittsburgh shooting. I could see myself carrying out this type of operation. So, even with these, it makes me wonder, how real are these? Were these people really, we're getting the facts, or were these kids set up for some reason? I don't know. Still interesting. Makes me wonder. Survey shows 1 in 5 millennials sees the U.S. flag as a sign of intolerance and hatred. That's it. No surprise there, right? Here's one we can watch. This is pretty wild, man. Check this out. See if I can make the screen big. This is an amazing story. We know that technology can be used for bad, obviously. I just did a video on that myself. Sometimes it can be used for good and for even amazing things. And check this out.
Thousands of miles apart, never got the chance to meet.
But as News 4's Ida Siegel learned today, these 2 men will forever share a common bond, their face.
Yeah, it's a warning to you right now that some might find these images disturbing.
For 26-year-old Cameron Underwood, life is now full of hope. Cameron has a new face, the latest recipient of a face transplant surgery. When you look in the mirror, what do you see and how do you feel?
I feel new. I feel, my whole life in front of me.
Cameron's jaw is still tight, which makes it difficult to talk. But now he can talk. Before the surgery, he couldn't. In fact, there's a laundry list of things he can now do.
Just communicate, for one. Eat, drink, just simple things like that.
2 years ago, Cameron shot himself in the face. His prognosis wasn't good. But in January of this year, Dr. Eduardo Rodriguez took on his case here at NYU Langone Medical Center, replacing his upper and lower jaw, much of his mouth and teeth, his nose and cheeks, all thanks to 23-year-old William Fisher, Johns Hopkins student from New York who died, but had declared himself an organ donor.
Turn that around and look at yourself. What do you think of that nose?
The surgery started on a Friday and ended on a Saturday for a total of 25 hours. And while that may seem like a long time, it's actually pretty short. The last time Dr. Rodriguez did this surgery, it took 36 hours.
I think the point of no return is when you remove Cameron's old face, and now this thing has to work.
And it did. Cameron is from Yuba, California, and back home with his family now. He hopes to go back to work as a welder soon. Part of him still can't believe the science that fixed his face.
They can put that together then, like Humpty Dumpty almost.
Like Humpty Dumpty, Cameron his life back together.
I hope you could hear that okay. Every now and then, it's just, for whatever reason, some of these clips, just have really low volume, man. So I just hold the speaker right up there, hoping you can hear it. I'm sure you got enough of it, though. But it's kind of an amazing story. But, they didn't tell us much about why. I mean, he shot himself in the face. He caused this to himself. That's why this is a story I've been watching for a while. I'm going to keep following it because I really want to hear his story. I wonder if it's a testimony. This seems like probably a testimony, I'm guessing. Excuse me. This sounds like a testimony. As I burp in the microphone in all of your ears. I'm sorry about that. Excuse me. But yeah, we'll see what happens with this. I think it's a very interesting story. Wild and wacky stuff, Ed. Okay, let's see what's going on here. Oh, okay, this one. Have you guys seen this footage? Check this out. There was something weird going down at President Bush's funeral. Nay, there were a lot of weird things happening there, but this is just one of them. And let's see what happens here if I try to make this a little bigger for you. But anyway, I'll play it out and I'll try to make it bigger screen for you. But what you're going to see is Laura Bush shows Jeb Bush something on a piece of paper, and check out his reaction. Of course, tons, everyone's speculating about what this could be. Apparently there were other little notes, people recorded throughout the funeral, like Hillary had one and some other people had these little notes. But let's see what this is. I'll try to make it big. Hold on. It goes by really fast, but anyway, check it out. Cool. It'll just keep playing. And look at her face. So look at both. We'll watch it a few times. He's all happy, smiling, looking down. He's like, oh my. Oof. He looks angry almost, right? Look at her sneer now. Look at Barbara. Is it Barbara? Is that her name? Look at her. Look at her face. Look at that. Nasty, right? Looks nasty. It's like, what is that? What could it be? I don't know. When I saw this, again, it's fun, and really it's fun to see this stuff because, there's something going on. We want to know what it is. I have no idea. There's lots of speculation out there. Reminded me, though, of something that is Barbara, right? Or that was the old lady. Let's see, Barbara Bush. Well, it's not. Yeah, wait. George Bush. Let's do that. Children. Laura Bush. Okay, my bad. But look at this. It reminded me. I told you I've been looking into this stuff for so many years. I remember all this stuff. There it is. Famous. Not photoshopped. Been around forever. Forever. But there's Laura Bush. And look, she's doing the as above, so below, straight up, pointing down with this hand, and then got the devil horns up on this side. So you see what she's doing there, right? Get a good enough shot of it, right? You see it. Maybe there's, they always do this. The bushes, you can find, they're always throwing up the horns. That's one thing, but see if that's a better shot of her. Same one, just cropped. But yeah, there's Laura Bush. There you go. There you go. I was gonna do a show like right after Daddy Bush died called Bush Died. ... Cool! Exclamation point. And do some stuff there. It's one of the few videos I never tell my parents what I do. They never even ask. They know I do something on YouTube. That's really about the extent of it. We don't get into much deeper conversations. They're very religious, sweet, good people, but just very religious, and it's just different. You know what I mean? So we don't get into some of this, but I told my mom I was going to do that, and she acted like I broke her heart. She's like, "Oh, KJ, please don't do that. It's disrespectful." And I was like, "Oh gosh." I was like, "Well, first off, remind me to never tell you about anything I'm about to do." But I don't know, Mom. I wanted to get into all this stuff with her about Bush, but I just, again, I learned a long time ago not to do it. I love my parents. It's best just to keep it casual, but anyway. I'm rambling. We just went off on a tangent, didn't we? But I appreciate you coming along with me on these tangents. Just the way my head works sometimes. This is this one's kind of gross. It's interesting though. Check this out. I think it's an actual news story. So let's watch this together, shall we?
You're behind a viral medical oddity.
As some reports claim, a California patient literally coughed up a lung, but tonight we're getting
medical oddity.
As some reports claim, a California patient literally coughed up a lung, but tonight we're getting a better perspective on what actually happened. Veronica De La Cruz joins us with the photos circling social media tonight. Veronica?
That's right, Liz and Ken. Doctors worldwide tonight are stunned after a patient of UCSF coughed up a blood clot so large it came out in the exact shape of his right lung. Now, the photo tells the story best, but we have to warn you, it is disturbing. Take a look. This is it, and you can see the unusual shape. The patient's doctor tells KPIX5 tonight the man had an extreme bout of coughing when the 6-inch clot came out, and he agrees the case is extremely rare and a little bit bizarre.
Initially, I mean, everybody was shocked, it's coming up here because it was so big. And then, when we just laid it out, we saw it was more or less a cast of his full right lung, which is, as I said, very, very rare, because usually it breaks up in several pieces, and you would never have a full cast like this.
The 36-year-old had a medical history that included heart failure. He also had a permanent pacemaker. Days after the clot, the patient...
Gross, right? Okay, let's see here. Oh, and I forgot. This is what I was going to show you. So remember Laura Bush? I just showed you that image. That she was doing the Baphomet. This is the as above, so below. See? Get a better shot of it here. There you go. So she was doing the same thing with her arms, one up, one down, as above, so below, with the horns, and literally pointing down below. So there you have it. Generational Satanists. Many of these people, I believe. Well, hi, Chubbs. What's going on? Where have you been? You always got to come over here and interrupt, don't you? All right. Well, can you be quiet? All right. Let's try. I still got some stories to show. We still got to watch our stories here. Okay. Let's check this out.
Arrest near Fresno. A teacher accused of forcibly cutting a student's hair while singing the Star-Spangled Banner. Police say Margaret Geinzinger, a high school science teacher, is now facing several charges. Geinzinger walked out of jail yesterday, 2 days after she was arrested. Video surfaced Wednesday showing the 52-year-old cutting the student's hair. An attorney representing the student says that his client was terrified.
He couldn't believe what was happening. He frankly didn't know what to do. And he thought to himself, me or anybody else, like, she's coming for someone else. And in the video, of course, we see that later. But he was absolutely terrified.
I was kind of hoping they'd show the video. Let's see. Let me find a video for you. It's definitely worthy. Teacher cuts hair. There it is. Look at this. Oh, come on, man. No. I told you, it's like, I mean, media's going through a lot of changes. Old media is dying, and you're seeing it now. All these trying to make you pay to look at the story or pay to watch the video. It's like, come on, man. Really? Where is it? Now I'm on a mission. Now I have to find this. Teacher goes crazy. Cuts hair. National anthem. How's that? Okay, there we go. Okay, hold on a second. I'll make this bigger. And what is it? I don't know. Again, it's just I'm fascinated by these kind of video. People just going bonkers. You're losing it, right?
Next. I'm not done. Next. Next, can I pick you out? Oh, no, no, no.
Oh,
Oh,
no,
don't touch me.
no.
Liz? Oh, Miss G.
Okay.
Miss G. Or the grand parts we want.
Crazy, huh? People just losing it. Okay, now this one right here. It's just, it's a mixed bag, this show of mine. And we never know what we're going to get, right? Sometimes we get a surprise. Sometimes you get, rah! Something will jump out and scare you. Sometimes there's tears. Sometimes there's emotions. Yeah, I'm a geek as far as sci-fi horror goes. It's just my history. I'm also very awake to what this system is. I don't worship entertainment like I did many years ago. I was under the spell as well. I went to film school, moved to LA, worked out there many years in TV, had an agent. I'm a writer, all that stuff. Most of you know it. I do. Come on, KJ. We already know health problems too, right, KJ? So okay, I'm good. I'm gonna stop. I'm gonna stop right there. But I still have an eye for this kind of stuff, and this is why I make a lot of the videos I do as well, because we see the messages, we see the lesser magic, we see a lot of the predictive programming, the imprinting, the social engineering, and whatnot. Just gonna geek out for a second. I may have to remove this trailer after I upload the video. We'll see what happens. But this is called Brightburn. It's a new movie coming out, and just thought it was interesting. Yeah, on some levels, it's another example of just everything that was once good turning evil. You'll see what I mean when you watch this. So, looks interesting to me, though. So check this out.
Who am I? You are a gift. I know it's been difficult for you lately, that you feel different from other kids. You are different. After your dad and I got married, we prayed for a baby for so long. One night, someone listened. Brandon? You are special. We believe that you came here for a reason. He was in the barn.
Did he find it?
No. It was like he was drawn to it.
He may look like us. He's not like us.
Of course, that too. Okay, of course. I first saw that. Sorry to cut it off. I know it's good, right? This is a good trailer. It is a good trailer. But obviously, again, to me, this is the rise of the son of perdition, the rise of the Antichrist. That's the symbolism I see in that kind of underlying narrative, showing up here on the earth, being revealed. Of course, we have this, though. We have the all-seeing eye, right there. Let me go back a couple seconds. Yeah. I'll be watching this when it comes out because I'm sure there's going to be lots of interesting symbolism and things happening in here. But again, that's what it is. This is also basically evil Superman. This is the evil Superman origin story, right? Basically. Look at these people burning in fire back here. And this guy coming down in white. Check this out here. It's interesting to me, though, the double stacked diamonds, that, again, the as above, so below paradigm, how I see that. But there you go, man. That's, again, popular entertainment. I mean, it's most people aren't going to see it that way, I'm sure, but that's what I see when I see that. Bright Burn. Be interesting to see. I'll be watching that when it comes out. I will not be watching this, whatever it is. This is scaring me. Fantastic Beasts star shocks with truly bizarre red carpet outfit. Fantastic Beasts star Ezra Miller walked the red carpet at the film's Paris premiere in a head-to-toe outfit that has to be seen to be believed. This guy. Yeah, I guess he's in the movie. I never saw the Fantastic Beasts. Not really interested, but anyway, this guy, when I saw his name and I saw this story, it reminded me of something. As I said, I have a background in film and media and stuff like that. My degree is in screenwriting. My minor is in editing. And a lot of people have always asked throughout the years to recommend scary films and things like this. And, then the other side of me, it's like I don't want some stuff. To me, it's not, I don't need to tell people, but I mean, I've seen all of it, foreign horror films. I mean, I was always a geek and I've seen about everything you can imagine. I'm not shocked by much either. I kind of got to a point I just got wore thin with it. Like nothing shocks me or freaks me out anymore. Probably needed all that to do the kind of stuff I do nowadays. But this guy was in a movie, Ezra Miller, and I don't know what the heck he's thinking or what's going on. Just more cuckoo, Hollywood people. But this guy was in a movie, and it was one of the most shocking films. I mean, you want to see, and there it is. This movie, we need to talk about Kevin, it is one of the most shocking. It's, if I had to rate films and have a top 10, it'd be up in the top 10 easily of most disturbing. This stays with you. This is one of those kind of movies. 5 stars. I mean, it got all kinds of rave reviews and whatnot. I remember that when it came out. We need to talk about Kevin. It's based on a novel. But Ezra Miller is he plays Kevin. I said, don't get mad at me. Okay, Jay, you told me I could watch this with my kids. No, I didn't. Be careful. This is a grim, very heavy, very dark stuff. The reason I'm drawn to these things is it's an excellent look into the mind of a psychopath, of like a real, extreme narcissist, psychopath. Monsters Among Us. I've been interested in that subject forever too. The creatures among us. It's fascinating. So there you go. Here's that. We covered this as well last week. Students undergo a sensory experience to drive out prejudice against illegal border crossings. I won't play that again. Sorry, I just had some of my older stories up here. Did the Apple CEO story already? Mainly just the headline here. Dollar stores planning for permanent American underclass sell more groceries than Whole Foods. There you go. We're living at a time, again, it's like it's all about the feelings, and not hurting people's feelings and being in touch with your feelings. And on a Monday night in a sparsely decorated room in Midtown Manhattan, a group of approximately 20 men, including an endocrinologist, a sportscaster, a policeman, and an employee of the United Nations, were bearing their souls. I've been digging deep with my girlfriend, and we were having those talks about moving forward in our relationship, and I'm having nights where I can't sleep, said Andrew Cummings, 44, an opera singer in New York. I'm angry that my health is deteriorating. I'm not ready to be an old man, said Jeff Nichols, 70. I'm checking in with some anger. I didn't get accepted to the Ashtanga Institute, and I smashed 2 candles, which I know isn't very yogic, said another man who asked to remain anonymous. Ranging in age from 30 to 70, the men were gathered as part of the Mankind Project. A 33 Always 33. 33-year-old nonprofit with 24 chapters in the United States and 11 regions abroad. It focuses on men's emotional well-being, drawing on elements like Carl Jung's theories of the psyche, nonviolent communication, again with that, breath work, Native American customs, and good old-fashioned male bonding, minus ogling women, drinking, or fist fighting, of course. The goal, according to many affiliated with MKP, is to break down patriarchal and hierarchical ideas of masculinity. And the place to start is where another man, Socrates, did centuries ago with the mandate of know thyself. The new popularity of mindfulness, yoga, and wellness has helped men shift their focus away from work relationships, said Lucas Crump, 39, a founder of Everyman, a for-profit company that brings men together to talk about their feels. I don't know what to think about that. It is good, for us to be in touch with our feelings. I'm a very sensitive person myself, so I'm not mocking this. I just don't want us to get, to where men are just sitting around all day talking about their feelings and how upset they are at their girlfriend's mad at them and stuff like this, and just not, I don't know, taking care of business. There's got to be a happy balance somewhere in the middle there, I'm sure. But I don't know. It's just our whole society. Everything right now is just so focused on your feelings and how you're feeling and getting in touch with your feelings, and don't hurt other people's feelings either, Come on. Chubbs, no. Get over here. Hey. All right. Kitty lockup time. Come here. Yeah, you know what time it is. All right. Usually just the term kitty lockup will scare him enough to where he'll calm down for a little bit. He really hates getting locked up. But enough about Chubbs. Let's talk about transgender boxers. Not the shorts, but the people. Here we go. World's turned upside down, folks. Say goodbye to mankind.
Absolutely, anytime he's ready, I'm ready. When they come and he wants to come out of retirement for it, I'm a different fighter, more mature. I'm a great age-level fighter now, and it'll be a great opportunity. The result will be totally different now. He was young. It was a very boring fight. He didn't come to fight. He always had that little itch for it since way back, and now that I'm more experienced, more mature, it's a fight that maybe will happen. I have a lot of interest 2 years back or further. I have a lot of people asking me the same questions. Now, there's nothing, no negotiations have happened, but every time there's post something on the internet or reporters asking the same question, more and more, then I get more into it. That's the only defeat I've ever had in my career. Only that defeat, and I would love to get that itch out and have that victory. I never envisioned it as the magnitude. I knew that it could happen, but I couldn't believe it, and I couldn't even dream of it. But seeing it and having it now, seeing these things.
Okay, wait. My bad. I hate when they do that. That story had nothing, that dumb video had nothing to do with the story. So thanks a lot, USA Today. 2 scars between his chest and abdomen remain visible, but Patricio Manuel insisted on no special treatment before or during Saturday's fight. He made that abundantly clear at Friday's fighters meeting, and even requested the ringside commentators not so much as mention that he was once a woman. Patricio Manuel. Yeah, that was totally different video up there. Sorry about that. Anyway, I don't really care to get too much into it. Got to throw out the 33 again, though, right? So it's a high Manuel. The transgender boxer is 33. There we go. Just more of this. I really don't want to read the whole story. Sure, it's going to be heartfelt. Talking about how tough it's been, to transition. But there we go. First transgender male boxer. It all falls in with that whole false reality narrative that's playing out as well right now, right? Nothing is real. It's all an illusion. Just want to look at this image. World's smallest cow stuns owners days after giant steer. Knickers went viral. Knickers. Here's a little cow. Cute. Very cute. Adorbs. And then there's the monster cow. Huge. There you go. That's it. Nothing else. Just passing through. It's one of the stories just passing through. This is about to set off. Your time is up. South Africa sets date for the white farmer land grabs for March 2019. Praying for the people out there. We'll be watching to see what happens with this situation. You didn't know? South Africa has set a date for when its much criticized land expropriations can begin after a politician declared, "Your time is up, white people. You're done, white folk." This is an amazing video. Just check it out. Terrifying sea monster bigger than great white attacks prey. It's a short one. Come on, stop. We'll make it big. And this is, wow. Just pretty incredible footage. Look at this thing. Wow, right. The size of that swordfish. Look at this. Wow. I mean, that's huge. Like they could swallow a person. It's incredible. That's all. Another one of those, man. You know, Kevin Hart is going through this, and now you got Kyler Murray apologizes after old homophobic tweets surface hours after he wins the Heisman Trophy. So that's the story. Yeah, this Kyler Murphy won the Heisman Trophy on Saturday night, making him the second straight quarterback from Oklahoma to win college football's most prestigious award. Just hours after winning the award, though, several of his old homophobic tweets surfaced on Twitter. He apologized in the early hours of Sunday morning. There he said, y'all are queers. Oh, Kyler. Oh, Kyler. Kyler says Cole is getting salty. He's a queer. Kyler said queers again. Said ha 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 queer. This is so dumb. People do this. Queers. Said queers. Oh boy. Yep. Take that award away from this piece of crap, right? Can't have someone out there saying queers. You know, we can't, especially from back in 2011 and 2012 when he was just 14 and 15 years old. So let's destroy this man's life. Let's make an example of him. These tweets from 2012 using the word queers. Let's destroy this person. Evil. Evil person. Evil. Ah! That scared me. For real. Sorry. 3 drive-in employees have been arrested after an ecstasy pill was found in a child's burger. Police in Taylor, Texas arrested manager Tanisha Dancer, 30, and employees Jonathan Robertson and Jose Molina following the incident at a Sonic drive-in. The pill was discovered by an 11-year-old girl when she unwrapped her 4-year-old brother's burger at the fast food outlet. Luckily, neither the boy or the girl ingested the drug. The family involved have not been named, but police released mugshots of the 3 arrested employees. That! Woo! There you go. I'll meet you at Sonic. I'll see you at Sonic here in a little while. Ask for the special. South Carolina man goes on Christmas decoration burning spree, police say.
This time of year, when people are putting up Christmas trees, we see house fires that start every year. We see fire deaths resulting from that. So we're just urging people to be cautious.
This is a typical setup that you might see in a living room.
Never mind. This isn't the story. I hate when they do this. They leave some dumb video up there that's Not the story. It's not the headline. A Somerville man is charged with arson after police said he burned down the Christmas decorations, suburban Charleston neighborhood. Bad writing, too. A Somerville man is charged with arson after police said he burned down the Christmas decorations, suburban Charleston neighborhood. Like in a suburban Charleston neighborhood. Authorities arrested Cameron Lewis Bone, 29, after receiving a call Friday afternoon about a person setting fire to the property of multiple neighbors. Police said he lit up a snowman decoration that was in the front yard of a home. He was detained for burning Christmas decor at another home when officers arrived. Somerville Fire Rescue is also attempting to put out a house fire that Bone allegedly set. A Grinch. Ah! There he is. There's the Grinch. YouTube Rewind, just not going to watch it. Just wanted to show you this. It's where they do this every year at the end of the year. It's a YouTube Rewind, and they show kind of, it's totally out of touch, but they show, a lot of the big things that happened on YouTube usually with just regular YouTubers. I mean, the bigger names, but still just actual original content creators. Here, of course, now you're starting off with Will Smith, and the whole thing's just goofy and dumb and stupid, and most of these people no one's even heard of. Look at that, 8.6 million thumbs down. 8.6 million thumbs down. This is a company that is so out of touch with its own creators, right? China is deploying emotional surveillance technology that mines data from the minds of its citizens. Essentially, they're data mining by reading their brains. The lightweight sensory helmets have been rolled out on an industrial scale. The mind data mining and emotional surveillance programs are eerily similar to trends in the United States to monitor and probe the mental health of its citizens through facial recognition. This past spring, Facebook landed in hot water over a data leak, which felt like a major privacy violation to millions of its users. Around the same time, however, China quietly reported that its government is openly phishing data from workers' minds, making a Facebook leak pale in comparison. It's another glimpse of what's ahead as this grid closes in. It's China. There's a lot happening in China. I've been watching that one too. I want to do a big video on China sometime soon, just waiting on maybe some more interesting stories to drop from out of there. Guys, give me 1 second. We've been 2 hours. I got to jump up for 1 second. I'll be back here in about a minute. Hold on. Okay, thanks. This one is really rough. 9-year-old kills self after racist taunts from class family. Check this one out. A black 9-year-old girl in Alabama allegedly took her own life after facing relentless bullying and racism in class. Mackenzie Adams' relatives said she hanged herself December 3rd in her home in Linden, about 100 miles west of Montgomery, and was discovered by her grandmother. Since the start of the school year, the fourth grader had been the target of bullying at U.S. Jones Elementary School, where she was teased over her friendship with a white male classmate. Her aunt, Edwina Harris, said the group of students taunted Mackenzie by telling her to commit suicide. She was being bullied the entire school year with words such as "kill yourself," "you think you're white because you ride with that white boy," "you ugly black B-word, just die," Harris said she's speaking out about her niece's death because she wants to promote anti-bullying. There's so many voiceless kids, Harris said. God is opening great doors for justice for my niece. It's tragic. That racism stuff, out of control. Newly released MK Ultra docs, the CIA made remote-controlled dogs with brain surgery. Don't want to read this one either. Honestly, it's a long one, but I did want to share that with you. If you want to look this up, it's over at Zero Hedge. Go to zerohedge.com. Look up this newly released MK Ultra docs. The CIA made remote-controlled dogs with brain surgery. Just the headline. We've been talking about DNA a lot. Here's another example of why you shouldn't be submitting your DNA to these sites that claim to be private. Man pleads guilty after arrest in Indiana girl's cold case murder solved. That's right, via DNA website. It's all private though, right? Nope. Another one just to throw out there if you haven't heard, but hopefully this guy's a good guy. Very powerful evidence of tumors. Concerned senator calls out feds, demands answers on 5G cancer link. I did a video on the dangers of 5G myself. It's a very real concern. It's nice to see some people in Washington are actually talking about it. Hopefully it's not all just smoke and mirrors. Maybe they'll actually try to do something about this. The new 5G wireless network from companies like AT&T and Verizon promises faster speeds and more connectivity for the customer, but is it actually, well, safe? According to one senator from Connecticut, we still don't know yet, even with thousands of the smaller new towers expected to be built by the end of 2019 for the sole purpose of bathing the country in the same form of millimeter wave radiation used by airport body scanners. Nothing to worry about, right? What could go wrong? The new 5G is a major step forward for wireless technology communications, experts say. But it also could be one of the biggest health mistakes in human history if the results of a recently released 10-year, $30 million study are any indication. This is serious, man. It's ramping up. It is ramping up. Senator Blumenthal is his name. How to oppose 5G in your area? Already, one California town managed to stop 5G towers from being constructed using strategies like the ones below. So this is at Alt HealthWorks, another great article to check out. Keep watch for small cell tower permits in your city or county. Educate your local community on health risks. Share important news articles on 5G safety risks. Share my video. Share KJ's video on it. Send letters and emails. Create flyers to help spread the word. Speak at city meetings. There you go. Check it out. They're talking about it. Let's hope they do something. Did you see this? This was a mainstream story, but it's just, this is something I've been waiting on for a while. Trump pretty much had, he had it easy before because he had the House and the Senate. But once the Democrats took the House, I was counting down the days in my mind, like when we're going to start seeing public fights, because they hate each other. I mean, they really, and they hate this guy. And it's going to be interesting to see what happens. And sure enough, now we're starting to get glimpses of something I think is going to be a very interesting reality television show. It'll be Trump and the Democrats. Check this out, though.
100% in the areas where the wall is. So I mean, it's very effective. If you really want to find out how effective a wall is, just ask Israel. 99.9% effective. Then our wall will be every bit as good as that, if not better. So we've done a lot of work on the wall. A lot of wall is built. A lot of people don't know that. A lot of wall is renovated. We have walls that were in very bad condition that are now in A1 tip-top shape. Frankly, some wall has been reinforced by our military. Our military has done a fantastic job. So the wall will get built, but we may not have an agreement today. We probably won't. But we have an agreement on other things that are really good. Nancy, would you like to say something?
Well, thank you, Mr. President, for the opportunity to meet with you so that we can work together in a bipartisan way to meet the needs of the American people. I think American people recognize that we must keep government open, that a shutdown is not worth anything, and that you should not have a Trump shutdown. You have the White House, Trump shutdown. You have the White House, you have the Senate, you have the House of Representatives, you have the votes. You should pass it.
No, we don't
right
have
now.
the votes, Nancy, because in the Senate, we need 60 votes.
No, but in the House.
And we don't
you
have.
could bring it up right now.
Yeah, but I
today.
can't, excuse me, but I can't get it passed in the House if it's not going to pass in the Senate. I don't want to waste time.
Well, the fact is, you can get it started that way.
The House we can get passed very easily,
Okay,
and we do.
then
But
do
the problem is the Senate, because we need 10 Democrats to vote,
No,
and
no, that's
they
not
won't
the
vote.
point, Mr. President. The point is that there are equities to be weighed. And we're here to have a conversation in a prayerful way. So I don't think we should have a debate in front of the press on this. But the fact is, the House Republicans could bring up this bill if they had the.
And right there was she said, I don't think we should have a debate, on camera in front of. And that's again where love him or hate him, no, that ain't gonna fly with Trump, and that's gonna be something again interesting. We're gonna see more of is him just calling it right out in front of the cameras, in front of everybody. So check this out.
Votes immediately and set the tone for what you want.
If we thought we were going to get it passed in the Senate, Nancy, we would do it immediately. We'd get it passed very easily in the House.
No, that's
We
not.
would get it, Nancy, I'd have it passed in 2 seconds. It doesn't matter, though, because we can't get it passed in the Senate because we need 10 Democrat votes.
Well,
That's the problem.
again, let us have our conversation, then we
That's
can
right.
meet with the press again. But the fact is that legislating, which is what we do,
Right.
you begin, you make your point, you state your case. That's what the House Republicans could do if they had the votes. But there are no votes in the House, a majority of votes for a wall, no matter where you start.
Exactly right. You don't have If I needed the votes for the wall in the House, I would have them in one session.
Well, then
would
we'll
be
do
done.
it. We'll do it.
It doesn't help because we need 10 Democrats in the
Don't put
Senate.
it on the Senate, put it on a negotiation.
Okay, let me ask you this, and we're doing this in a very friendly manner. It doesn't help for me to take a vote in the House where I will win easily with the Republicans.
You will not win.
It doesn't help to take that vote because I'm not going to get the vote
Don't
of
put it
the
on
Senate.
the
I need 10 senators. That's the
Mr.
problem.
President, you have the White House, you have the Senate.
I have the
you
White
have
House. The White House is done, and the House would give me the vote if I wanted it. But I can't because
Well,
I
you
need,
can't.
Nancy, I need 10 votes from Chuck.
Or let me say something. Let me just say one thing. The fact is, you do not have the votes in the House.
Nancy, I do. And we need
Well,
border
let's
security.
vote, we'll
Nancy,
find out.
Nancy, we need border security. It's very simple.
Of course we do.
We need border security. People are pouring into our country, including terrorists. We have terrorists. We caught 10 terrorists over the last very short period of time. 10. These are very serious people. Our border agents, all of our law enforcement has been incredible what they've done. But we caught 10 terrorists. These are people that were looking to do harm. We need the wall. We need, more important than anything, we need border security, of which the wall is a piece. But it's important. Chuck, did you want to say something?
Here. Buckle up, kids. It's going to get good. I think. This stuff is just so funny, man. It's so funny. And there's people, too, that, it's all an illusion. They're all actors. They're all in it together. Well, these are some damn good actors, man. I genuinely think they can't stand each other. So it'll be interesting to see what happens with this one. Time to allow the 10 Commandments in Texas classrooms. Correct me if I'm wrong. I mean, it was a long time ago when I was a little boy in elementary school. But I could swear that didn't most schools have the 10 Commandments? I thought we did when I was little. I'm from Oklahoma, so if any state would have the 10 Commandments in a school, it'd be Oklahoma. I'm pretty sure we did when I was in elementary school many moons ago. I don't know. But hey, I always think it's a good idea. Time to allow the 10 Commandments in Texas classrooms. Of course, I think it's a great idea that they bring that back into the schools, Such separation of church and state. That's what people always separate of church and state. This world's dying quickly. People are going insane. If you haven't seen this, you haven't been watching my shows or my videos. People are freaking losing it. They're going crazy. And they're getting into really weird stuff. And they're being really weird. And they're chopping off their wieners. And they're changing the way they look, the color of their skin. They're tattooing their eyeballs. People are going nuts. Is it really that bad that, I think that people need God, that people need Christ? It's the only thing that can save anybody in this world. That's what I believe. I know. Oh, you're old-fashioned, KJ. Get up with the times, But all kidding aside, that's the only thing. Because you got stuff like this happening. San Francisco creates world's first ever transgender cultural district. Good times. I mean, no surprise, but still. You see this? Stephen Curry said the moon landing was fake, but let's all pretend he didn't. I saw this on the news, like the local news as well. Stephen Curry, I think that's how you say his name, says he does not believe humans have been to the moon, a stance which is clearly unsupported by facts and hopefully just a joke. Anyway, the commercial I saw on the local news was just taking him to task there too, making him out to be a loon, a kook. And of course, well, look right here. One of the guys mentions Kubrick. You got to do the research on Stanley Kubrick, Bazemore adds. That's true. Kubrick is a common rallying point for people who ascribe to the moon landing conspiracy theory. The story goes that NASA was desperate to make it to the moon, so they hired the famed director to stage and film much of the Apollo 11 and 12 missions. On the other side of the scale is a mountain of proof, including the fact that you can literally see astronauts' footprints on the surface of the moon. If he's serious, Curry is hardly the only person to question the moon landing. It's one of the most popular and enduring conspiracy theories in American pop culture. And research shows belief in conspiracy theories is one way people attempt to make sense of a chaotic world. Well, it's that, or would just believe